Alright, so now let's add the clouds, for background again. So we're going to go to sky and open this guy up or drag this in. It'll give us a new layer. Just going to enlarge it, get it bigger. And again, this is all just for texture. I don't know, maybe, yeah, we'll do that. Double click, that sets it in. Again, I'm going to turn it off so I can see my line work. And I'm going to, hold on one second. Alright, so let's do the sky. Sky will be everything else but the buildings. So I think what I'm going to do is try to cheat here and try to select everything that is kind of clear. So Photoshop did a pretty decent job here. And then I'm going to go back in here and oops, it didn't like that. So I'm going to go back, add to the selection. Oops, what the heck? Oh, what? Sorry guys, moving too fast. What's going on? Come back in here, select nothing. Oh, I was in the minus. Alright, and then go back here. Then I'm in the add. Come and take some of that. Actually, I'm going to do the polygon lasso tool because I do like that. I prefer that much more than the oops, dang it. Keep on taking it away. Yeah, that's the wall. Yep, it's okay. Good. All that stuff looks good. I'm going to get rid of all of that. Alright, so that was a pretty easy cloud selection. These are guardrails, so technically there's going to be, you're going to be able to see through these. So doing these little subtle things is what makes your drawing look so much cleaner and kind of believable. And these are window panels, so I'm going to come back in here and select these window panels. Come in here and get these parts of the windows. Yep, that is not a window panel, and that line shouldn't be there, so I'm going to erase that in a sec. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to go to the cloud layer, come in here, and then I'm going to add a layer mask. And there you go, so you can see the clouds through the windows. And here, you kind of, technically if this cloud, first of all, it's a little bit too dark, I'm going to reduce it, but if you could see this because there's nothing in front of it, the clouds here should be a little bit lighter because you're seeing through the window, right? So we're going to use a dodge tool, right? So I'm going to go back in here. Remember the burn tool, this guy makes it darker. If you dodge it, it makes it lighter. So I'm going to go to the dodge tool here and go to my image actually. Oh, and also because I dragged the image in, it's a smart image, meaning it'll only allow you to scale it up and down, but it doesn't allow you to really edit the image. So what you want to do is you want to right click, and you want to rasterize the layer, and then that allows you to edit it. So then now I can come back in here and kind of lighten it up a little bit more, so you can kind of see through it, but not really. Yeah, I'm just going to lighten it. There you go. So there you go. There's my clouds. And in general, it's a little bit too blue for me. So I'm going to go back and make sure that I'm highlighting the thumbnail of the image itself. And let's see. I'm going to go here and go to my adjustments and change my levels. Now this would control the darkness and the light of that particular image. So if I kind of pull this, it makes it lighter. So I might do something like that. So it's not so cloud looking, if that's a thing. I mean, I wanted to have the cloud texture, but not so. Yeah. Okay. That was that versus my computer is super slow right now. Okay. So anyhow, let's just leave that. And then, I'm really not digging this. I think I'm going to cover all this up with the dirt or this texture. So I'm going to come back in here to the mask now because I'm going to edit my mask. And I want to take this part here. And the white part you see, the dark part you don't. So I'm going to erase, right? That's my white. So Alt backspace. Oops. No, Control backspace is what will erase my image. Let me see here. Oh, maybe I'll just use the eraser tool. Man, I was trying to figure out why it wasn't doing anything, and I just realized my image actually doesn't go up that far. You'll see what I mean if I go to my image here and move it up. So it did erase, it just kind of lame. Anyway, so there's that. I think I rather prefer that. Get out. And, I'm not doing a very clean job here, but that's alright. Alright, so let's just kind of continue and let's add some trees. So trees, let's see, let's bring one of these guys in here. Oh, undo. I want a new layer so that the trees are on top. So here's a tree. I kind of like to place a fairly large tree kind of in the foreground. So we'll take that. And then why don't I make a copy of that layer and then move that one somewhere here. Maybe make it smaller. So it's way in the back. Make a copy. And I'm making extra copies because first of all, in Photoshop you can have many copies. And it'll allow me to have more flexibility if I want to make changes to just a particular area. So here, and I'm gonna yeah, that's fine. Let's put it there. And then obviously I don't want the tree in front of my section, so let me just turn that off for a sec. Come back in here and polygon tool. Actually, I'll take the square tool. Then when I turn on the tree, that's the part that I want to erase, right? So again, go to the tree layer and then just simply delete the trees that are in that selection box. Oops. Oh, because again, it's a smart object. Right click, right click, rasterize, which makes it a pixel, and delete now the trees behind the building. Alright, so yeah, we'll do that. I'll just leave that. Now the trees are kind of colored, and I think in the demo they were kind of making it black and white, or not necessarily black and white, but removing the color. So removing the color is to desaturate. So I'm going to go to this tree copy, and that's the tree way in the back. So go back in here, adjust, and where is desaturate? Oh, again, it won't let me do that either because it's a smart object. So yeah, adjustment, desaturate. And so now that's a black and white image. Take that rear tree, adjustment, desaturate. Take the front tree, rasterize the layer, adjustment, desaturate. And then also the tree's kind of super high resolution, too high resolution for me, so you might want to, you know, bring down the opacity down, maybe especially the ones that are quote unquote further away. You know, maybe take it way back, and that little one over there, that should be far away, if you will. So just kind of, yeah, not bad. All right, and now also in architectural sections, the part of the building that you're actually cutting through where your knife is touching, that part should be actually black, and you can actually control that in your CAD software, and if you didn't, you'll want to definitely do it here. So I'm going to, first of all, let me start naming these layers. Oops. Come on. Line. And then I like my lines to be always on top. Ooh, except not in this case because I have some. Never mind. That's fine. I'll deal with that. And then on top of those lines, or actually below those lines, is where I want to poche. So in architecture, it's called poche when things are darker. So I'm going to create a blank layer called poche. But I'm going to go to the line layer and kind of take advantage of the CAD by just simply selecting these boxes. And that's a cut. And since I designed this building, I kind of know what part is actually a cut and what's not. So hopefully you guys can just follow along. But also, if you don't get it perfect, it's totally okay with me. This is supposed to be like dirt here, and then I think this is the planter area, so there's dirt here, but this is concrete. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. That's concrete, that's concrete, and that's a wall. So hold on, I'm going to pause. I'll be back after I select everything. Alright, I'm back. Now I'm going to have to not rely on this because I have all these insulation stuff that, make sure I'm in the additive mode here. I can't really use a magic wand here because there's so many like different textures there. And then this is supposed to be a skylight, so I'm not going to cut through that. So maybe the frame, I'll just kind of darken it so that it looks like a frame. Like I told you guys in the beginning of this course, I would tell you, being patient when you're selecting stuff, and once you know how to select things in Photoshop, which will then allow you to control where specifically you want to edit, is really the key to Photoshop. So, be patient, guys, and kind of select all the things that you want correctly, properly, and you shouldn't have any problems. In here, get rid of some of this. These little artifacts here. And of course, if you forget certain things because it's on a separate layer, you can always come back and fix it, so there's no drama there. Actually, I'm going to just select that whole stringer. So come back. Cool. Alright. Almost, guys. Let's see. Come back in here. Make a clean wall selection here. Maybe go through. And then in Photoshop, if you move your cursor onto the screen, the whole screen pans, which is really a nice thing too. Alright, so I think I got most of the parts that are supposed to be filled in completely post shade or black. I'm just going to take my default tool, make sure I'm in my post shade layer now instead of the line layer, and fill that in dark. Now you notice that the black on the bottom didn't show because I have my earth layer on top, so that was a convenient little thing. Yeah, I think that looks pretty decent.